Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.
Alrighty, and good evening, folks, and welcome to the Whitfield Report. And chat, I'm just gonna be upfront with you. I am down 2 co-hosts tonight. Maybe Apex will show up later on. I'm hoping he will. But Akaba is out with the case of the swine flu, I guess. He made fun of the rage pig, Ethan Ralph, and now he texted me about like 30 minutes ago saying he has he's been kind of sick and feeling feverish and isn't really doing that great. So I know Mr. Vickers returned to the podcast sphere. So welcome back, to the coin merchant. I think we ought to give Mr. Vickers here a round of applause. Yes, that is right. Mr. Vickers did, in fact, return to the podcast world. The good, the bad, and the vicious is back, and Akaba has returned to his co-host role there. Don't worry, he's still staying on board. This show. I haven't fired him or Apex. Yet. I'm not gonna can either of them. Despite the fact that a few people are like, please, Sammy, get rid of Apex. He's severely retarded. But no, I'm not gonna get rid of the Gamma. Are you kidding me? I can't do that. He's just too good. And then Akaba, Akaba is the new fresh blood that this program needed, and he does gaming news, which we do have some gaming news tonight, folks, to cover. But real quick, just a few quick housekeeping announcements. First off, we now have official channel memberships over on Odyssey. For those that don't know, we simulcast this show on YouTube, Twitter, and Odyssey. And so we actually have gotten a few viewers on Odyssey before. And that's where you can send me like super chats and whatnot directly through Odyssey. But you can also, we now have channel memberships available on Odyssey as well. So what that means is you'll get access to exclusive members only streams if you sign up on Odyssey. And because Odyssey is a much more forgiving platform than YouTube, I can share content on there that I couldn't before. So I'm thinking of maybe doing a movie night on Odyssey, especially given the fact that Halloween is right around the corner. And so that should be, so let me know, folks, if that is something you're interested in. So anyway, and let me go ahead here and share out the link to the show once again because we are in fact live. And you know, I thought that Twitter would auto tweet this out, but apparently not. But anyway. So yeah, like I said, I've got a solo show for you tonight, unless well, Apex did say he would be coming in, but he said he would be a bit late. I don't necessarily know what that means. You know, I know he closes at his job on Saturday night, so hopefully he's just late. But knowing him at times, he might stay a little, you know, later than usual, and as a result, not have to, not you know, come on stream. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but anyway. So anyway, folks, what is up with you? I hope all is well. Been a pretty it's been a pretty uneventful week for me personally. Um I can't ask my co-hosts how their week was. Um you know, since neither of them are here, but I hope both of them are doing well. I hope your week, those of you in chat, I hope you guys are doing well. Other than just you know, doing my thing as a freelance writer, I've managed to keep busy enough, but you know, I can't say that you know, I'm too terribly busy. But anyway, so other than just you know, day-to-day stuff in my personal life, there actually was a ton of news that happened this week. Most notably, folks, um, Tulsi Gabbard has left the Democrat Party, and she announced this on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, which she was on Thursday, which I will play a little bit of this. But I also wanted to go ahead and let's see. I do want to go ahead and play this clip from her own personal YouTube channel where she talks about why she's leaving the Democrat Party, because I think it's very insightful. Why why the hell am I getting why the hell am I getting oh, of course, it's YouTube, that's why. Um for some reason I'm getting the Young Turks clips here on YouTube, and obviously, folks, that's not what I want here. Thought I had this queued up, but I guess not. Okay. Alrighty. Let me see. Let me see if. Oh, okay. Um. All right, let me. Okay, she actually does have a YouTube channel here, folks. What do you know? Um, Let me go ahead and. Let me go ahead and share the screen. Uh, Ash says, you started so late, I was able to go through every single aisle at Kroger. Um, well, I mean, I hope you stocked up on some good stuff there, Ash. So, and also I don't know if you got the part where I said that I got a notification like 20 or 30 minutes ago that Akaba, he's out, and then Apex, who knows? But yeah, Tulsi Gabbard left the Democrat Party. So let me see if I can cue this up here. Yeah. And by the way, we will have. I am going to talk about Kanye West. It'll be interesting because, like I said, this show is on Odyssey, as well. I don't know if this show is going to be on YouTube. And yeah, Ash, if you want to jump on once, you get home, I would be happy to send you the link to join in, because I know that you probably have stuff to say on Yay. And I also have a story from the Onion that I actually want to read with you that I'm pretty sure is gonna get us kicked off of well, maybe not kick. It's not gonna get the channel taken off YouTube, but it's probably gonna get the stream taken off YouTube. But anyway, yeah, folks, like I said, the milfiest woman, and I mean that as a compliment, the milfiest woman in the Democrat Party, in fact, the only MILF in the Democrat Party, is no longer a Democrat, and that is Tulsi Gabbard. She announced on Rogan's podcast on Thursday that she was leaving. And she had. So she put this announcement out on her own channel, which let me put this on screen here. And let's see. This is real when I wish I had two monitors, so I wouldn't have to switch windows, but it is what it is. Okay, so here's Tulsi Gabbard's official announcement that she's leaving the Democrat Party. And yeah, we will get to that here in just a sec. And I will also explain why this is significant, at least in my book, and it has something to do. The reason why she left the Democrat Party has something to do with this incident from almost 3 years ago, where she, she called Kamala out on her BS, and ever since then, the Democrats have been pretty hostile to her. But yeah, as I said, she's leaving the Democrat Party, and apparently she's also starting a podcast, I guess. But anyway, let's see what this silver-haired fox has to say.
I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that's under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness. who divide us by racializing every issue and stoking anti-white racism, who actively work to undermine our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution, who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality, who demonize the police but protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans, who believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state to go after their political opponents, and above all, who are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war. Now, I believe in a government that's of the people, by the people, and for the people. Unfortunately, today's Democratic Party does not. Instead, it stands for a government that is of, by, and for the powerful elite. Now, I'm calling on my fellow common sense, independent-minded Democrats to join me in leaving the Democratic Party. If you can no longer stomach the direction that the so-called woke Democratic Party ideologues are taking our country, then I invite you to join me. I can no longer...
Uh-oh, chat. It sounds like Tulsi has a case of the Tuckers. She's sounding an awful lot like Tucker Carlson there, eh, chat? You know, and the Young Turks and CNN and basically the entire stuff. I've already heard some people calling her, MAGA, which is hilarious because she isn't, she isn't a Trump supporter by any means, but we've gotten to the point in clown world, as Ash likes to say, kecking, uncontrollably. We've gotten to the point in clown world where if you're not with the woke, you're pretty much a Trump supporter, and that means that you're the equivalent to Satan. And so she announced that she was leaving on Thursday, and it's been a bit of a shock to a lot of people in the establishment. I'm thrilled by it, and I'll tell you why. Believe it or not, folks, I do have friends and family who I guess you could call them liberal on certain issues, or I guess progressive, but they're not super far left, and they're not woke either. They're pretty much like Democrats from 50 years ago, 60 years ago. That is to say pretty much that she's pretty much like a JFK Democrat, which is essentially that is kind of the equivalent of a conservative today. But it's interesting because people have asked me before, well, Sam, if you had to vote Democrat, would you ever? And I said in the last election, if Tulsi Gabbard ran, I might have to consider, her against Trump, but I knew that they never would, so that wasn't even that wasn't even a contest. But she's the only, I guess, former Democrat. When she was in the Democrat Party, she was the only one who was willing to kind of listen to the Republicans. She was the only one in the party pushing back against all this woke bullshit. And yeah, it's I'm really hoping that this is going to allow some other Democrats who are like in the party, maybe not in the political establishment. But I'm hoping that ordinary Democrats, your average citizen, might also consider leaving the party now because, seeing what she did. And I mean, I know a lot of people there who are not woke. I've neighbors who are Democrats, but they're not woke, and it is frustrating because I keep trying to tell them that they need to leave the party. They keep thinking, oh, trans issues and woke stuff. It's not that big of a deal. No, it is a big deal now because that's what the entire party is based off. It's not even LGBT activism anymore that's taken over the party. It's all just trans activism that has taken over the Democrat Party. And so, that's one component of this. The other component of why she got, ousted from the Democrat Party. And let me see here. Let me switch tabs. Okay, I'm going to have to switch tabs here for the screen showing thing. Let's see. Yeah, imagine being a non-woke Dem, says. Yeah, right? Imagine that concept, chat. Very hard to imagine. But okay, let's see here. Let me try sharing the screen again. Okay. All right. All right, chat. We're good to go. So some of these videos are from a few years ago, and so I'm not going to go over all of them. But one of the key points that she received backlash on, and one of the reasons why she has left the Democrat Party. Well, let's just go over. Okay, let's try our first Joe Rogan clip here, shall we? In case for some reason the stream gets taken offline, we are multi-streaming over on Odyssey, and I will copy and paste the link in chat for you guys to go over and sub there as well, just in case the stream goes over. But one of the things that she really touched on is just how bad wokeism has gotten, how it's infested the university system, but also her party over the last few decades. So this was an interesting take. I did listen to the whole podcast on Spotify, but this is a very interesting clip. Let's take a listen.
People were saying to me, like, why are you concentrating on this? Like, this is some stuff that's happening at universities. Why is this even why are you obsessed with this? And I said, because this is going to spill over into society. Exactly. Like, you don't see this? Yeah. It's like, if we have barbarians that land in Hawaii and they start attacking, marauding, and they get in their boats and they start moving towards America, And you go like, well, hey, I think this is coming here. Like, why are you concentrating on that?
Exactly.
This is only happening in Hawaii.
Yeah.
No, they're fucking in the boats now, kids.
Yeah.
They're
Yep.
in the boats, and now they've hit land.
Yep.
And now they're burning through tech industry. They're burning through so many corporations.
Yeah.
Because all this craziness is an accepted ideology in universities. So you let these children get away from their parents. Fuck my mom and dad. My mom and dad are bullshit and they're racist and fascist and this, that. And then they go to school, which their mom and dad paid for probably, or they got crazy student loans that they can never get away from. And then they infect these corporations. So you have these people that are in their 50s and 60s that are running these corporations go, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Exactly.
This is crazy. You want a litter box in the bathroom?
Yeah.
What? And
Yeah.
that's happening in tech companies too.
Yep. You talk to, I've talked to a number of different CEOs who've very clearly expressed that their biggest headache in life is with their HR departments.
Yeah.
They're trying to like, what in the world are we doing here? That's what, we started this by saying like,
By the way, and yeah, nice still shot for you guys there. And by the way, this is something I've talked about before on the show as well. Human resources departments are garbage these days in most companies. I haven't, or no, it wasn't on this show I've talked about it, but I have talked about it on Versa with Alex Dolsky. He and I had a conversation once about how bad HR departments are, and they really are. A lot of these big companies within the last 5 years have gone completely woke. It's insane. The the whole pronouns in your byline. Some companies will even like punish you, even threaten to fire you if you don't use like appropriate pronouns now, I guess. On LinkedIn, you have to use he, she, or they, them pronouns in your LinkedIn bio. It like requires you to do that now, and it's BS. And yeah, I am on LinkedIn. I don't like it, but I'm on there. And I've got my resume out there. But yeah, this is the corporate culture that we're in now, and it stemmed from all this woke shit in universities that was on Tumblr 10 years ago. Mr. Medicare and everyone was laughing at the Tumblr bitches 10 years ago, and it was a joke. But now these people are running corporate America and running HR departments. So yeah.
how did we get here?
Yeah.
What you just outlined is exactly how we got here. So much of this has been happening already, for decades in some of these incredibly, I don't even know what you call them, in a lot of the universities. And then you start seeing it, okay, well, here's the boundary today. Okay, cool, got that. We're going to shift it. We're going to shift the goalpost. Okay, cool, got that. We're going to shift the goalpost. We're going to shift the goalpost.
It never ends.
It doesn't.
It never ends.
And that's where the thing that I people warned against in the past, but it's hard to imagine that it would be possible, certainly within our lifetimes, the normalization of
yes.
what you said, the minor attracted persons, and
Yeah.
don't stigmatize that. We're all people. We should all be allowed to celebrate ourselves and all this other
Madness.
crap. We're talking about kids
Yeah.
and how a lot of these same people who are saying, hey, if you refuse to use pronouns, you're fired. A friend of mine in a huge New York law firm, corporate policy is you have to put your pronouns in your email signature block, or you will have to talk to the HR department. And he's like one of the partners at this law firm. He's like, this is bullshit.
Now, why do they make that distinction? Why? What kind of pressure force them into having something as crazy as like you have to have your pronouns?
I don't know. I think that it's driven by fear.
But what
All of this is driven
percentage
by
of the
fear.
people are having a problem identifying someone
Yeah.
without pronouns?
Yeah.
Like, how many people are we talking about?
I would imagine it's a very small number.
It's a very small number. It just the number of people that identify as trans is higher than it's ever been before, which is really weird. That's not consistent. And you could say, well, it's because they feel comfortable doing that because it's an accepted part of society. Like, maybe. But according to Abigail Schreier, who wrote that book, Irreversible Damage,
Right.
with young girls, it's up an extraordinary amount, like a preposterous amount, where they have these clusters of girls who identify as trans in school, where you get like 8, 9 kids
Yeah.
that just all in a friend group identify as trans. And she's like, there's a very distinct possibility that this is a social contagion.
Yeah.
And that there are, and without the denying that some people are trans, because there are.
All right, now I do want to address that point real quick. Why are there so many, why are there so many kids that are, into this whole, trans thing now? Well, thankfully, I've got good news. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like a lot of kids, at least here in Florida, and at least, the kids that I'm aware of, that are in my family, a lot of them are not into this whole trans thing. But I'll tell you where it is starting. It's starting in the schools because a lot of the scholastic publications are becoming like trans friendly, which is weird. Especially, and we're not talking like for teenagers and whatnot, we're talking for actual children. And then kids shows even are like having non-binary they're like non-binary, characters in kids' TV show that are like explicitly non-binary too. Like, yeah, I know people who have argued, oh well, like Casper the Friendly Ghost, was a ghost, and so, that's always been not non, binary, and it's like, okay, but that was like a cartoon ghost. Like, they try and pull out these ridiculous, but we're talking like now they have characters that are like explicitly non-binary and like kids cartoons. And so yeah, you wonder like why these kids are starting to like report as like being high percentage as trans when they're younger. It's because of the scholastics, it's because of TV shows, and I think in large part it's also because right now it's trendy to say that I'm trans, even though a lot of these kids have no idea what sexuality even is until they're 13 or 14 at all. And even then, hate to say it, but like most kids don't really know, most teenagers don't really even know what they're fully about until they're 17, 18. Hell, even at 19 I was still trying to figure my shit out, somewhat. Like I knew by then I was completely into women, but now it's now these kids want to get like gender assignment surgeries when they're teenagers, and oof, yeah. So that is one thing where I will give Owen Benjamin, I won't give him credit on, but he wasn't wrong about the trans kids thing. And I never said he was wrong on that either. It was all the other stuff that followed that, that preceded him to, spiral and make an ass of himself. So, but yeah. But this was one of the I guess this was one of the main motivations for Tulsi leaving the Democrat Party, was because of all this woke bullshit. And then the other reason why she got kicked out of the Democrat Party, and this is very interesting, but not surprising. She went against Camel Toe Harris, who, during the primary, and she was a woman of color running for the office of president, and then she was anointed vice president next to that walking zombie that we have in there right now. And I guess Tulsi kind of got the silent treatment from the Dems after calling Kamala out on her bullshit. So let's see what this is about. And by the way, I'm sending you 3 hours of a Joe Rogan podcast just by playing these. So you're welcome, chat. You're welcome.
That is, for you, that is where like everything sort of soured with you and the Democratic Party, was when during the debates where you accurately pointed out her record.
Yeah.
And you basically sank any hope that she had of being president, because you opened up this discussion that many people are not aware of about her prosecution record and the things that she's done that are absolutely illegal.
Yeah.
Like forcing people to work as labor, as cheap labor for the state to fight wildfires after they're supposed to be released.
Exactly.
They did their time.
They did their time, and she kept them in prison to use them essentially as slave labor for the state, putting their own lives at risk forcibly. The thing about my exchange with her on that debate stage, and you take a step back, you got to question, like, all of those things I brought up on her record, you easily Googleable on the first page. When you look at Kamala Harris's record, all of those things, I'd have to dig very deep to see what those issues and problems were with her record. So then the question is, hey, why didn't anybody in the media ask her these questions about the record that she said, I'm so proud of my record as this and as that, as that. All right, cool. Talk about this. This is your record. Talk about these things. No one in the media did that. There's no other candidate on the debate stage who had the balls to bring that up. How are voters supposed to be able to make their best informed decision when the media and fellow Democratic candidates who are her opponents in that race don't have the courage to ask a very factual question on a record that she says she's proud of?
Do you think that there's a concerted effort to hide that information, or do you think that people recognize that's a trap? Like if I do that, then it's going to fuck up my future. They're going to not want me to participate in certain things, which most certainly happened to you.
Yes, that most certainly happened. And that shows the double standard. I don't know why no one had the courage to ask her those questions, why I was the first person to do it. If I had to guess, I would imagine it's because she's got friends in high places. I would guess it's because she's a woman of color, and no one wants to be seen as the person attacking a woman of color who's.
It also has to do with the fact that, and again, folks, I'm glad we're streaming on Odyssey, and I cannot stress that we're over on Odyssey enough, because what I'm about to say could get us extended off YouTube. The fact that Tulsi, and I even remember pointing this out during the 2020 primary election, the fact that Tulsi Gabbard was the only one on the primary stage who really was calling out Kamala Harris and getting under her skin, and calling her on a record for basically arresting black people, prosecuting black people for basically minor crimes such as smoking, marijuana, non-violent crimes. And she wanted to be she wanted to proclaim herself as some champion for African Americans and African American women, when the vast majority of those that she was locking up were in fact African Americans themselves. So Tulsi called her out on that, and she dared to question Kamala, who was part of a script, and the script was that Biden was going to be the nominee, and Kamala was going to be the VP. And then Tulsi decided to deviate from that script a bit and call her out on her stuff. No, that can't happen. So therefore Tulsi was punished for that, and she also has been punished. She even said this later on in the podcast. The Dems didn't like her because she was the only one willing to go on Tucker Carlson, on to, Fox News. So that was another factor. And look, I'm not saying that Tulsi Gabbard is perfect by any means. There are a lot of, she's pretty questionable on gun rights. I will say that. I don't really know many of her social stances. Not that I really, care much at this point, since she's not really running for office. But if she ever does in the future, I will, be more interested. The reason why I'm so interested in Tulsi, and the reason why I'm so interested in the fact that she's left the Democrat Party, is, as I have said, there are a lot of there are a lot of folks I know who are basically non-woke liberals, but they're also like, well, I can't leave the Democrat Party because if I do, then I'll have to go to the Republican Party and vote for Trump. And I don't want to do that because Trump is a meanie, and he bullies people, and so I'm stuck with the Democrats. And I guess Biden is better than Mean Orange Man or something. And here you have a woman, an actual woman, and granted, she's also a silver fox. I mean, she's even got that silver streaker in her hair. Who's very eloquent, who's very well spoken, who actually has military service. She's not out there. She's not crazy, I don't think. She just seems to talk normally. She's not doing Obama's Obama had that certain cadence of speaking that was very Obama-like. And Obama had the cadence, and Biden has no cadence. But see, Tulsi and Trump, and granted, there are probably a few others, they don't have a cadence. They just speak, I guess, normally, and that's refreshing. So yeah, I'm not saying that Tulsi Gabbard is perfect, but what I am saying is she could be the catalyst for a lot of Democrats to wake up and decide to maybe leave the party. And by all means, I think there are a lot of Republicans who should perhaps leave the party as well. And Ash just texted me that he was home, and thanks, Ash. I will send you the link to join this shit show in the in the Discord. So, and oh, I my mouse fell off my desk, so I'm gonna have to use the trackpad again. Lovely. Don't worry, I'll have a coast to bounce off of in just a sec, so you guys won't have to put up with too much dead air for too long. Let's see. All right. Austin Not says, beware the cougar. Sir, you must be newer around here. We love cougars in these parts, and I'm from Florida, so that is also a literal statement. But oh shit, we've got Phil here too. So we've got Ash joining us. We've got hopefully Apex will join us here. And then maybe if Phil, I'll shoot you the link. Maybe if you can jump in here too. We're like I said, we're down a co-host. Akaba got the swine flu from making fun of a certain rage pig. So speedy recovery to Akaba. But yeah, let's all right, let me add you and you know what? I'm gonna just do the easiest thing and combine this into a group chat. All right. All right. I love being able to copy links from my. Okay. All right. Everyone should have the link to this stream. I sent it in Discord for you gentlemen. So oh yeah, I knew I was talking with the Silver Fox. Let's see. I was just saying hi to my moderators here. Or yeah, it's my co-host. So speaking of co-hosts, we have with us now Ash, who I think is Ash, can you hear me? I can't hear you. All right. So Ash is working on audio. What's going on, Phil? I can hear you fine, I think.
Oh, really? All right. Hey, how's it going, Sammy?
It's going good, my friend. How you doing?
Not doing too bad. Just doing the old grind. How are things down in Florida?
Things are going pretty well. Considering that we just got over hurricane season.
Yeah,
So
it's good. It's good seeing that you're doing okay, because that place
yeah,
place has been a
well,
wreck for a while now, huh?
well, Sarasota, thankfully, where I'm at, didn't get hit too bad. But the rest of South Florida, yeah, it did get wrecked a bit. So
So what?
and I think Ash is still having mic issues, maybe, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'm just having technical difficulties. I'm not sure.
Well, I
Let
mean,
me
it takes a little. Like I don't know if he's been on here before, but it kind of take. I know it does take a little bit to finagle, I guess.
Yeah, let me let me I just took the screen share off too. But anyway, so what do you make of Tulsi leaving the Democrat Party, Phil?
I think it was a foregone conclusion. I mean, the Democrat Party, and keep in mind, I think I leaned Democrat growing up. Like growing up, I leaned a lot toward that, and I still have some, liberal views, like some that would have been deemed back in that day liberal views. But
Sure.
the Democrat Party has gone so far off the off of what it used to be that it's just like it's basically alienated everybody that isn't completely insane. And so we have what we have, and of course, like you're talking about Tulsi Gabbard, who once endorsed Bernie Sanders, you know, who has a lot of liberal ideals of her own, but like she felt disenfranchised by the Democrat Party. Like, I mean, I'm surprised. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm surprised none of this happened sooner. That's pretty much what.
It's interesting to me that I mean I hate to harp on this. It kind of seems like a meme at this point, but the trannies once again are undoing their own, basically. Trannies have basically invaded the Democrat Party at this point and are ruining everything for that party, which is partially hilarious to me. That's
How did we get
doing
now?
Here's the question. How
Yeah,
did we get?
I can hear you now, Ash.
Hey, what's up, man?
I pulled my internet magic somehow. What's going on, boys?
Look, here's my question. How did we get from, as far as transgenders go, how did we get to let's treat everybody with respect, let's treat everybody with dignity, and how do we get from that to if you don't suck that tranny dick, you're a phobe, right? How did we get how did we get from one end to the other? It's like pretty crazy.
I mean, I think we got there because I think it was a case of give them an inch and they'll take a mile, right?
Mm-hmm.
First was gay marriage, and like at the end of the day, like no one really had a major problem with like gay marriage illegally, right? And so I think people were like, okay, sure. And then the transgender bathroom thing was weird, but people were kind of like, whatever. And so now they're like, okay, now we want to come after your kids. And it's like, wait, what? You went from wanting like to choose the bathroom, to now you want to teach our kids about this shit when they're fucking 6.
And you want them to compete in women's sports. Like that's there's just certain things that I'll never accept. Like I just won't ever accept. And that's probably one of them.
It doesn't matter, Phil. You just get censored and then you won't even be heard, and then it'll just seem like to normies that the population agrees with this, and that's how we get here.
Well, the problem is you get this weirdness. You get this weirdness on mainstream, like even with the media and all that craziness. and you start building echo chambers, and those echo chambers start getting larger, and
Check.
do I hear Apex?
Hello.
I hear a gamma.
Hello,
There we
everybody.
go.
So
I haven't heard you in a minute. How you been?
Pretty good, buddy. How are you?
Yeah, one day rolling into the next.
Still breathing, huh?
I'm surprised that China virus didn't kill me. God damn it.
Shit. You're gonna have to try harder than that. I mean, as you guys, I don't know if we've talked about this recently, but we were right all along. All the people that your friends and family and especially people online were fucking screeching about, oh, the vaccine's not gonna help you not infect other people. The mask isn't gonna help you not infect other people. It's the fucking flu, basically. You're
Yeah.
fine,
It's amazing how the flu numbers basically went down to almost zero. Like, that no coincidence there.
I had a
Yeah, not
student
at all.
tell me he had the flu the other day, and I didn't say this, but I was just like, really? That's
There's
novel.
no
Yeah.
and look, there's no way I'm here to tell you that there's no way that political corruption had anything to do with any of this. I'm just telling you right now. There's no way
No.
that the $500 million donation to the Joe Biden campaign from Pfizer had anything to do with this, or the $10 million plus that they give to both sides of the political aisle. No way that had anything to do with this coronavirus vaccine.
Yeah, it's been the same. I mean, this shit's been the same for decades, man. I mean, I hope we all live long enough to see this moment in history used as an example. As I can't think of a comparison, but as many, like, we were taught mistakes societies have made in recent history when we were in school. I mean, they still, imagine to some degree, they probably still do that. But things we learned from collectively, and maybe we haven't. I don't know, but I feel like I just hope we can live long enough to see this reflected for what it was, like mass control, mass hysteria. I mean, I doubt we will, but weaponized fear.
Yeah, we need a Shawshank Redemption where we crawl out on the other side clean.
Yeah,
The amount of shit that it would take for us to fix what's going on right now is so drastic that I don't think it gets fixed. Like, I think like we are so far down the crazy hole that I'm not sure how the hell we get out. I mean, every
There's always a
institution we
way.
have is fucked. Like, I don't think where is this going to come from? I mean, and it's not going to be quick. I mean, the fix will not be quick. And by then, who knows what the fuck happens? Maybe fucking Russia and China take over the world. Who the fuck knows?
Well, yeah, and the way I've looked at it for about as long as I've been doing this podcast here with Sammy is, like, I'm not a very smart man, and even the internet collectively, there's always things that you don't think about, that people you don't consider. Things can change on a fucking dime, and I don't claim to know how that could be. I can't claim to imagine one, but that doesn't mean a fix doesn't exist, and it doesn't even have to be a perfect one.
Well, I think the fix is they're all just going to turn themselves transgender and then not have kids, and then they'll be gone at some point.
Yeah, and humanity gets down to under that 500 million mark that the Guidestones were.
Yeah, all the nukes go off,
about.
and then we're just left, and we're like, "Oh, you guys want to build a town or something?"
Yeah. So I
But
didn't
this
mean
is
to.
cool. But this is cool though. Well, I mean that's not totally true. I just saw on MSNBC that men can get pregnant. So I don't see where
Are you going to repopulate for us, Phil?
I mean, there's certainly plenty of men out there that can repopulate the world. I mean, look, I mean, you gotta trust. Sometimes you just gotta just jump in with both feet and trust a reputable news source like MSNBC.
Do you have my baby, Phil?
If
My womb is destroyed. I don't think,
if,
So I saw we were talking about.
M-
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Tammy.
if MSNBC is a reputable source, that I can fucking walk. So,
I mean, I've seen you do it on your hands.
and-
So
yeah,
I wanna see it.
well, okay. To clarify, walk with my legs that Mersh doesn't think exists for whatever reason. So, but no, Apex, we've been talking out your silver-haired fox girlfriend.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not
Or
so sure about that
whatever.
bitch. I never really paid much attention to her other than that silver streak in her hair and that she was, kind of a cougar. But this recent move, like, she's calculated. There's something going on, and I'm not, again, smart enough to, begin to really guess
I mean-
what exactly the goal is. But
I would think it would have to be because Fox News is paying her to go on the network.
Yeah, but
Like, I
why
don't think-
now?
I
Why are you
think-
doing this now.
Well, I mean, the timing. Like, look, she's gone more and more. She's stayed more and more on the straight and narrow, and obviously MSNBC isn't going to fucking pay her, or CNN isn't going to pay her. So now,
Well, you remember when Ellen Page wasn't in any movies, and then she was like, "I'm a guy now," and then she gets all the news and shit. I think Apex is right. There's something going on. Suddenly we're talking about Tulsi Gabbard.
well, she went on. I don't know the timeline on this, but she went on Joe Rogan. She announced leaving the Democratic Party, all the way she did, and then she started a podcast. Is that correct? I believe she started a podcast, or she's starting a podcast.
That's what I heard on the Whitfield report.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm waiting to see.
she's-
I'm waiting to see when she starts an OnlyFans.
I was gonna say I might start paying attention then, but no, I mean, yeah, that it could be that. It could just simply be that she's, publicly leaving the Democratic Party to drum up more viewers and donations for her fucking podcast, because, the lemmings will, as Eric, I was thinking the word as I read it in chat. The lemmings, as it were, will follow these people off a fucking cliff.
How
And
do you even fit another podcast into your daily routine?
I know, right?
well,
yeah,
the people that work at home and do nothing but sit at the computer, I mean, I don't know how they do it either, but
surely they've already filled up every hour with something already. You're going to have to move something aside. You're going to have to be like, what podcast can I give up permanently so I can support Tulsi?
what I don't understand is the people that watch Twitch, the people that Twitch stream for 6-8 hours a day and get thousands of viewers for the entire time. I don't understand who's watching Twitch.
Oh, speaking of Twitch, did anyone see Adriana Chechich break her back at TwitchCon?
No way.
Oh, yeah, I did.
I
did.
So if just in case the crowd doesn't know, Adriana Chechich is a fairly popular porn star, or was.
Yeah, one of the
And
most
then-
recognizable porn stars.
Right. So she started doing Twitch a while ago.
I didn't know that.
And so she was one of the personalities that was at TwitchCon, and so they have the pit, the Twitch pit, which has these little pieces of foam instead of
I'm pulling up the
one of
video
those,
now.
It's one of those Chuck E. Cheese pits, but with these foam pits or these foam pieces. So she jumps into the pit and she breaks her back in 2 places.
Oh my god.
Me, you know me. I'm already dude, these jokes write themselves.
It's like karma for having
of all-
All right, we'll make sure she's okay. Get her out of the pit.
I'll start
Oh my gosh!
Big sense of her own. You good? Great victory there.
I can't get out.
Are you
Are you okay?
She's held down by the biffle. Medic!
Yeah, they're making jokes and shit.
All right.
I mean, come on.
She's okay. Get her out of the pit.
Yeah, and then look at the tweet right above this. She she is in a full fucking brace. She broke 2 vertebrae.
Yep.
And yeah, I hope she takes fucking all of Twitch's money. But yeah, just
You think you would like
Yeah.
reverse one of these jumps maybe before
You
you
know-
get one?
You know
Say
me,
what?
I had a field day on this one. I'm like, out of all the monster cock that she took to try to like it took a Twitch pick to actually do her.
none
her
of those are
back end.
square though. At
Yeah,
least I don't think.
this is what gets you, right?
Yeah, it's like all the monster cock she's taken over the years. It's the Twitch pit that does her back end.
I've seen her do some things. I don't know how she would walk afterwards.
I'm gonna be honest
Yeah.
with you. Like there's the jokes ran for me too, but the primary thought that I had was rage, because that's just like I don't understand how people were fucking stupid enough to look at that thing and be like, oh, let me just jump around in here. It's literally one layer of
One
uncontained fucking foam blocks. Like
And underneath
let
is
me
just
do
concrete, right?
Yeah. Let me do a
Well, you
cheer
know-
jump and land directly on my tailbone. And like that. And then the fact that Twitch alone, you could hear him in the background like, oh, she's held down by the fucking foam pit. Medic. You know, it's, I don't know. It's
Well,
frustrating.
I mean,
first-
yeah, there's
First mistake
there
was
is
having
that
a
too.
pit.
I mean, there is the thing. Like, I hope she fucking sues somebody, because
Well, yeah, she absolutely
Well-
better.
Yeah, well, I mean, then again, people are also really too happy these days. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah.
I mean, that seems
I don't know,
pretty clear. That seems like a pretty clear, unless she was instructed not to do anything like that. If they're like, don't jump into the pit, which you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she like signed some kind of or maybe she signed some sort of waiver that says if you hurt yourself, it's your own dumbass fault, and we're not taking
Yeah.
responsibility.
Why do these ridiculous conventions always need a ball pit or a foam pit or anything like that? What does that have to do with Twitch? What does that have to do with anything?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
what-
It's
Yeah,
retarded.
it's like-
It's retarded.
It's like the team planning is like got checklist. Like, what else could we do? TwitchCon's not exciting. We need more.
I mean,
things.
look, Adriana's going to have a rod. She's going to have a rod in her back, which, of course, that was joke
I
worthy
doubt-
in itself.
You know what? The good news is she can start a new career in crippled porn. I'm sure that's a
Yeah,
booming,
you know?
a burgeoning industry.
we know some guy who could.
I might know a
star.
guy.
Oh.
I might know a guy.
Believe me, people were sending me DMs about this that I cannot show on YouTube.
The Whitfield reporn.
The Whitfield retard? Is that what you just said?
I said the Whitfield reporn.
Oh, he's physically retarded.
Yeah,
mentally is still questionable, but
Yeah, I'm not sure yet.
dirt. And what were you saying, Sammy?
I'm not mentally retarded. I may be crazy, but I'm not retarded. So, but no, yeah, I mean, what's amusing to me is that last week was such a slow news week that this was considered newsworthy, I guess.
The only thing I heard about TwitchCon is that Hassan Piker was getting mad at everybody.
Yeah, that too, which is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Do we have
He's
any
always
other- any
he's
other
always mad at
TwitchCon?
somebody, though.
Yeah.
Isn't he? Isn't he always mad at somebody, though?
And he's kind of like the prime example of how we got on this conversation, because we were talking about who has time for another podcast. Like, who has time to sit and watch Hassan Piker for 8 hours every day and donate to him while he reads tweets and other people's articles, watches other people's fucking YouTube videos?
Bro, I was
you know
I
what
was
I mean?
I was at the gym Apex, bro, and I went into like the steam room at the end, and these two motherfuckers like have their fucking phones and they're looking at their fucking like I don't even know how you see the screen, but they can't they literally can't go a minute without the phone. So maybe that's why. They're
I
not
suppose,
actually sitting down watching Hassan Piker. They're working at McDonald's, or they're in the steam room, or they're on a train or something, and that's what they're doing.
And they can't. Yeah, that's a good point, because I do see retail and food, service workers of all sorts, especially fast food, who are staring at their fucking phones, just like
The fucking lady at
everybody
the checkouts are only self-checkout at the fucking Kroger I was just at, and there's always that one big black girl who doesn't do anything. She just sits there, and I guess she's there to watch you in case you steal something, but you can just steal something because she's looking at her phone.
Yeah, right. But
Well,
anyway, back to Tulsi and her her shenanigans. I think it could be. I think it is just as benign as her just trying to drum up support to grift. She's trying to fucking start the grift off strong, and that in and of itself, like, irks me. I see a bunch of people like, oh, fucking Gabbard DeSantis, Gabbard Trump, fucking 2024. Like,
Oh,
you
no.
fucking
Yeah, I
retards,
don't-
dude. Jesus Christ, man.
I don't see that as being the play here. I will say this, that I think one of the positive things that could come out of this, and again, this is me trying to be somewhat optimistic, but I know a lot of Democrats who are not woke, but they stick with the Democrat Party because they think, well, it's either Biden or it's that asshole Trump, and I'm like, well, here you have a decently, an intelligent woman who has military service, and she's leading the Democrat Party. If she can do it, why can't you?
Yeah, so you think she's trying to, like, lure other Democrats, more center left Democrats away from the crazy? Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. I mean,
Right. Oh, that's what I meant.
I think there definitely could. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think that there is partially a grift, but I also think that she could very well be trying to lure center, more moderate Democrats away from the crazies. So,
Bro,
Right.
Trump
I
and-
saw-
Gabbard,
yeah.
Trump Gabbard doesn't actually sound unpalatable to me. I like the sound of that. Can you
Well,
imagine
she doesn't really like Trump. She's been quite vocal about that throughout pretty much his entire presidency. And,
Yeah, she doesn't.
But the other thing, hold on,
she
before I
doesn't
forget,
like-
one of the things that stood out to me, because on top of the Rogan experience, the announcing of the podcast, leaving the Democrat Party, there was a town hall with Alexandria Cortez, AOC, and some fucking dude was in there screaming. Somebody just fart? Who farted?
Oh, I saw that. The two
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
And in the middle of him screaming at her about nuclear war, blah blah blah, he brings up that Tulsi had the courage to leave the Democrat Party. Like, what's your excuse? And it just seemed, and I even tweeted. I said, in asterisks, I was like, paid for by Tulsi Gabbard.
Like a plant. Yeah.
Well, I
That's
mean, I
exactly
think
what
part
it-
of
that's
I
exactly
think
what it
part
felt
of it
like.
though.
Come on,
I
teammate.
think part of that though was like he was saying that then maybe it is a Tulsi paid grift, but like he was saying how she signed off on all of this funding for Ukraine when we have so many fucking needs at home. And I think it's gone to like $80 billion that we've basically given to Ukraine. Like, what the fuck? And I mean, that in itself is a fair point. Cause I mean, look, $80 billion. I mean, shit.
Good night, Sawson.
Huh?
Go. No, I was saying good night to the chat. Someone in the chat.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Oh, sorry. I mean, you could end homelessness with $80 billion. The cost of the Venetian in Las Vegas was $1.5 billion. You could build a Venetian in every fucking major city and essentially end homelessness. Like, the amount of money we're spending on Ukraine, and they're not even going to win this thing. Like, they're still going to lose. And
Well, that
like,
depends.
what are we doing?
I mean, yeah, I don't think I don't think that they will, unless something really bad, because it's a proxy war, dude. We're sending all this money because we're fighting. That's our war.
Well, they
Our
don't have
government
their
is fighting
Starlink
that war.
anymore.
No, yes, they do. Elon he backtracked again on that today on
Oh
Twitter.
no! I just wanted to buy Twitter. Damn it!
Well,
Kim.com actually called him out, and they had a little back and forth in my timeline earlier where, I don't know, I'm not sure I could find the tweet, but Kim.com is like, Elon Musk is a role model to like millions of people. My kids look up to him. He has to do something and blah, 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 blah. And, or no, it was Kim.com responding to Elon's tweet saying, well, we're already losing money. I believe, I wish I could find it. But Elon's like, oh, well, besides them spitting in my face and putting me on a kill list in Ukraine, like an official American kill list or some shit, I'm going to keep providing Starlink for free to the Ukrainian people. Whatever. And then Kim.com was like, you fucking, God damn it, dude. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You got to, like, it's important that you make a stand. And Elon's
You know
like,
what?
he's like, well, damned if I do, damned if I don't. So, and I seem to be damned.
Well, I bet you behind the scenes, the government actually gave in and probably started paying their share, and he probably agreed not to share that information.
He's a fucking. I would bet that's a good possibility. I mean, a firm possibility, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But then again, who knows? I don't know shit, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, the amount, because the Ukraine's fucked without Starlink. They're fucked anyway. I don't see Ukraine surviving past the winter, right? I don't see it, because it's gonna be cold. Russia's gonna shut off the freaking gas. They're gonna shut off the oil of natural gas, and they're basically gonna freeze. And they're already running out of troops. They don't have enough cold weather gear.
They've got 80 billion American motherfucking dollars.
Yeah, but most of that shit's already blown. Most of that shit that they gave to Ukraine is either already destroyed, it's stolen by the Russians, or sold in the black market. Like, and
yeah, I'm seeing. I saw a drone dogfight between a Ukrainian drone and a Russian drone of the same model, and it was literally just them trying to, smack each other out of the air. It was the most pathetic thing I've ever seen. That and the both sides flying drones over troops. It seems to be mostly Ukrainians flying drones over small troop clusters and dropping fucking like fire bombs or high explosives on like one random like 19-year-old Russian that's doing the sign of the cross, doing a prayer all by himself, fucking turning him into pink mist.
Yeah.
And then all the blue check marks retweeting and cheering the fuck out of it on Twitter. It's like
you're not making a good argument against these people have nothing to do. You know all this shit. You got all these receipts. You're on your phone in the steam room.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm one of those people. I'm a retail manager, so I get extra time that I can just scroll through my fucking phone.
Because a lot of what you're saying, I'm like, I saw that. And then I'm like, dogfighting drones.
Well, yeah, that just popped up the other day. I don't know. It was Alex Bayman, the Hampshire guy. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but an old Mr. Medicare find. This guy makes he's been making underwater habitats for hamsters and filming it for
I remember that.
a long time. Yeah, he's one of my Twitter friends, and he commented on it. He's like, the future is fucking stupid. Of that on the video of the drones smacking into each other.
Well,
but it's
no,
like they can barely Russia.
I admit I'm a loser that does nothing.
Ukraine can barely handle Russia right now, and Russia's only at like 80,000 troops right now, rotationally.
I find it hard to trust any
You're about to add. Well, the Russian military, and I was doing. You could tell I have way too much free time on my hands, but like, I guess the special military operation uh, only allows for 200,000 troops max within the operation, which you have to cut in half because there's rotational shit involved, right? You can't
Sure,
just,
sure.
you know.
Yeah, you can't
So
just dump
you're
them
at
all on the field. Yeah.
right. So they're running at about like 80,000 troops. They've taken 4 states and they with about 80,000 troops. Now Russia's turned this thing into like a counterterrorism operation, which means they're throwing in 300,000 troops on top of that.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the matter of fucking like 2 weeks, we had the Nord Stream fucking get a hole blown in it. And then, goddamn, the Crimea Bridge.
Yeah.
I can't fucking believe that. Not a peep. Not a
Once
fucking
they
peep.
and once and it's good thing you
Operations are
brought that up
important.
too. Good thing you brought that up too, because like when Russia shuts off that valve that's going through Ukraine, where the fuck is Ukraine going to get their oil? Because Europe's tapped out. They're going to be freezing too. They got their own fucking problems they got to worry about. How's
Yeah.
Russia? How's the U.S. How's the U.S. going to get oil to Ukraine? Like there's no way to get it to Ukraine. You might be able to. Maybe you could get some from Poland with that new pipeline, but that's not going to be enough for you to survive throughout the whole fucking winter. And it gets cold in Ukraine too. Like these guys are fucked. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Well,
don't know.
and
Yeah, I think we just sound.
and going back,
I feel dumb, and I feel like we sound dumb, like talking about. I mean, whatever, but we're just.
Look, trust me, I'm right there with you. Me, I feel like I feel like I'm like a modern day Socrates. Like I'm like, look, the only thing I know in this world is that I know nothing, right? But and I think I'm in the right mindset because it keeps me learning, right? It keeps me learning. Like the second that I say, oh, I know everything, or I'm like, that's when I feel like I stop trying to learn.
Well, that's why you're not a lefty. They literally never admit they're wrong or change their minds until their program tells them to.
well,
Well, I mean, the
well, here's
conservatives
what-
are like that too. Like you get a lot of conservatives
yeah.
that are like, oh,
They're
I
always
know
Go ahead.
all about the economy, and we're all about military matters and foreign policy and da 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 da. Like, shut the fuck up. You guys don't know shit either.
It's the same on both sides when you get
Yeah,
to the far
it
edges
is.
because they're both always learning, but within
100% right.
whatever kind of rigid framework
Well-
that fits their side.
I think whatever
Well,
you
here's-
hear, you just have to be like, okay, so that's not the truth. You know,
Mhm.
it's just another
Well,
check.
here's
When
what-
someone says they know something, you're like, okay, so that's not what's happening. I don't think any of us
Well,
could
here's-
predict what's going to happen. at all.
Go ahead, Sam. Shut up, Ash.
Well, here's what's
Sorry.
interesting to me, and I mean, again, going back to the Tulsi interview, and Semper
let's.
actually talked about this on one of his streams. But one thing that's been very interesting to watch too is how both of the major political parties are talking about nuclear war and how we might have to use nukes if things escalate in Russia. And I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? You know, Joe, and why are we talking about nukes? Are we talking about nuking Russia? Why now? And it just seems like such a drastic measure. But what's even
It's
more
reckless
interesting
as
is
fuck.
that, like,
Oh yeah.
is neither political party is really debating over it. Both of the elites in both parties are like, yeah, you know, if worse comes to worst, you know, if Putin uses nukes, well then, goddamn, we might have to do the same thing. It's like, okay, why you guys argue about everything else? Yet this is the one thing where you guys aren't at each other's throats. You're like, yep, we might have to rearm the nuclear arsenal. It's like, what? This isn't 1982 anymore. The Cold War is fucking over, or should be at least. So
I think there's a good chance. And they talk about how Russia might use I haven't heard anything about that Putin is going to use nukes. I haven't heard anything from like
Yeah,
Putin, Lavrov, any of those types. The only thing that I heard once was like Putin was saying and this was like early in the conflict too. It was like to those that threaten us with those extra weapons, know that we have them too, right? And we will defend our motherland. And that was pretty much it. He didn't really specify nukes or anything like that. It's all the nuclear talk has been all on in the West, all in the West.
no. Well, because all these people on Twitter are like, well, Putin keeps threatening, nuclear war with the U.S. I go to like Russia, I go to RT, I go to like the Russian websites. They're not saying anything
Mm-mm.
about
Mm-mm.
nuclear war.
Mm-mm.
But then I go to, I go to the
What
New
the
York
fuck is that
Times, and
sound?
they're all talking about nuclear war.
Somebody's making a weird sound in the mic. I don't know what the fuck it is. Sorry.
I don't think it's me.
It's not me.
Were you just unwrapping something?
Mic wire.
It sounds like something's playing in the background, or something.
It sounded like someone was opening like a wrapper, like.
I heard it just now.
Yeah.
I think it's Sam.
Sam's playing with himself.
Oh yeah,
No,
come on,
no.
come on. It's Sam. Give him a break.
Myself and I heard it, so it's not me.
If he wants to rub one out, let him. All right. He's going through. He's surviving a hurricane. Okay, at least give him this little fucking amount of joy. All right, damn.
No, well, no, my it might be my mic cord. I
I
doubt
think it's his
though.
mic rubbing against it.
Yeah, it probably is
The
actually.
culprit is that legless man Sam.
Sam, you've been doing a
Yeah,
podcast for how long? And you're using fucking earbud mic?
Yeah, you're like Adriana Chechik, like just fucking up at the end.
Okay,
Oh, my back.
I'm not that bad. Although I did throw my back at once getting
She's like,
getting
oh
a
my god,
package off the
something's wrong with my
porch.
back. And somebody behind is like, yeah, that's right, bitch.
Wait, Sam, how did you throw your back out once? I didn't even know you could do that.
I threw my back out trying to get like a heavy thing off the front porch. So
We have for that, Sam.
Well, yeah, that's why I needed able-bodied like waifu or something like that. So
Yes, you do.
but yeah, no, it like I said, this whole thing, the fact that it escalated from we're just going to support Ukraine to now we might have to go to nuclear wars. It's bonkers, man. So I don't know what to make. I don't know what to make of any of it. Like any
hold
of
on,
you guys.
hold on, time out. What have we learned over the last couple of years? Like I was just saying earlier, I mean they have known this for 60 years probably, and they have slowly been using it, but I feel like it hit a new level in 2020 through 2022 through this year pretty much, is the fear and how easily if every single outlet is saying the same fucking thing or treading the same direction, everybody will buy it, especially if it's scary enough. Now, they got us the first time with this fucking mass pandemic. They locked everybody in their house and they shut the world. They shut the fucking world down. And everybody was like, not only were they okay with it, they were begging for more. Generally, I mean, it's most people we're okay with it and went along with it. So, all right, they played that card. What's next? Well,
nuclear war.
The only thing that's worse.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I mean, I guess my point is, nuclear war is not a fake pandemic. It's not the flu. You know, it could And I don't know what these people are actually thinking. That shit could go off at any moment. It could actually happen. That is
Yeah.
another layer. That's
Yeah, no,
another
I'm not.
layer. But I
I'm,
just don't think it feels like a big fucking game, man. Like I don't think any of it's real. The people dying and shit, obviously, but I don't think that Putin's not having this meetings or that he's 100% autonomous from this world thing. And maybe he is. Maybe that's exactly why this is happening to him. That seems to be the case. But I
well,
just don't. It's
well,
hard
the
for me to
other thing
believe.
too is, well, the other thing too, does anyone feel like this? Does anyone feel like this Ukraine conflict? I mean, okay, to be clear, I know it's been building over time, but it kind of feels like all of a sudden Russia was invading Ukraine, and all of a sudden we had to go and support them
Well,
right after we got out of the pandemic.
no, because
I
remember,
mean,
if you remember, yeah, like it did start towards the end of the pandemic, quote unquote. But the mainstream media here was pushing that shit for months. They were like, 7 days, Russia's going to invade. Look, they're building troops. They're going to invade this weekend. Week
that
after week after week after week until Putin actually did it. Literally, I think it was like fucking 9 straight weeks that they were reporting. Well, this weekend, it's certain it's going to happen this weekend. We're sure. Intel says, you know,
It all
it's
really
that's
fucking
my
crazy.
it
that's my
all
point though.
started. It all started in 2007 when Vladimir Putin gave his speech in Munich and basically said that the American hegemony has to end. Right? Basically, in a
When was
nutshell,
this?
he was saying
Today?
it's no. This was in 2007. This was in
Oh,
Munich,
okay.
right?
Okay.
So he basically went. He went in front of the world cameras and said that the American hegemony has to end. We are being taken advantage of, and basically we're sick of it. And honestly, he was right. Like,
No, that's the
like
thing
the
is
American,
he's more right than he's not. Every time I
yeah,
read one of his
yeah.
speeches or
That
something.
doesn't mean he's not dirty, but he's
Sure.
definitely right. I mean, you can be correct and dirty at the same time. Like those are
Yeah, it's
not
like Trump.
mutually exclusive.
Yeah, it's like Trump.
Yeah, and so the year after that, or wait a minute, what was the fucking Maidan coup? There was like in Ukraine. Then you had like you had the Maidan coup where they basically overthrew the Russian backed president, and ever since then they've been trying to. Ukraine's been trying to get rid of all the
No,
Russian.
it was some color revolution. I was just reading
Yeah,
about that
but that's
too.
what they called it, the revolution. They
yeah,
called it the revolution, but it was a fucking coup, right? And um,
No, no, no,
the
no.
only
The
piece of
coup was
land.
more recent. The coup was that was in like
Okay,
2012 or 2014. What I'm talking about
okay, yeah,
is
yeah,
back in like the fuck, I don't know exactly,
yeah.
but I have to look it up again. But yeah, they've been picking at it until they were building to this from the first time Ukraine was destabilized in whatever period this was. I think it was after. It has to have been after the Soviet Union. Um, but yeah, and then I think it was 2014 when they put in Mr. Mr. I'm going to create a new Israel, Zelensky,
Mm-hmm.
the Jewish man
Yeah.
who is now running Ukraine.
And
Yeah, so
everybody was like, "Oh, Zelensky, he's Jewish. There's no way he would actually be like he would be racist or whatever." And then you see nothing but pictures of these frickin' Ukrainian troops with like Nazi tattoos all over their bodies and
yeah,
shit,
and
doing like Heil Hitler salutes. Like, what the hell?
even that's something's fucking weird about that too. But no, if you go back to when Trump was still president and the media was giving him a fucking hard time about Ukraine, Zelensky was scared shitless. He was sitting in a dingy office, any videos you find of him, and he was visibly. Now he's doing. He's the fucking Mr. Hotshot, you know, because he's an actor. It's all a play.
Yeah, now he's on the cover of fucking People. I thought this was a Photoshop at first, but there's little like
this shit's
there's
insane, dude. Like it's
Yeah,
insane.
there's
We're literally watching history being like forged in real time, and most people think they're living through like historical times. It's insane. Anyway, go ahead, Sammy.
well, but the other crazy thing too is like is they're literally do not only is not only is this like a war in terms of like actual warfare, but this is also a big time propaganda warfare too. They're literally doing
Every
like
war is
photo
these
shoots
days.
with Zelensky. Like,
Yeah,
well, yeah,
dude, he showed up at the fucking like.
Well, yeah.
He videoed into one of the award shows recently. The dude has been fucking everywhere. They're trying really hard to push that man down America's throat so that we are okay with spending $80 billion in a fucking year in a war that has, you know, technically nothing to fucking do with us at all.
Doesn't benefit us at all.
Nope.
Do the-
It
do
only
the
hurts.
Ukrainian-
It only hurts the American people.
Do the Ukrainian people even like Zelensky? Like,
Okay, so here's another thing. Here's another thing about that one.
Yeah, the
So
eastern
the
side
last
doesn't.
election, right?
Yeah.
So the last election, they're saying that Zelensky got 71% of the vote. However, the Russian Ukrainians were not allowed to participate in that election at that
That's
time.
right.
what?
So,
What?
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
the
not.
Donbass and the
They're not. They keep telling you. They keep telling you that that Ukraine is a democracy, and that this is some fucking bastion. They're defending world democracy. They're not a fucking democracy themselves,
Bro,
dude.
Zelensky
Putin needs to go in there and liberate those poor motherfuckers or something.
Zelensky's banned the opposing media out there, banned the opposing parties, jailed dissidents, like and they're shooting people that don't want to fight alongside of them, right? Whenever they go to these areas that are like the front line, if they see somebody and they tell them, hey, you're fighting alongside of us, and they're like, fuck no, they fucking kill them, right?
So let me get this
I've not
straight
heard that.
then. So let me get this straight then. So everything that MSNBC was like shitting their pants about that Trump was going to do, Zelensky has done in his own country.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like what the Dems wish they could do here. Maybe that's why they're sending so much money. They could live out their power fantasy over there.
Well, I mean, the thing is Biden's son is in energy in Ukraine. Pelosi's son is in energy in Ukraine. That fucking there's two more whose names fucking elude me.
Well, John McCain was over there when he was still alive. You had Lindsey Graham and Amy Klobuchar that were over there.
Well, yeah, you know, so I mean, it seems obvious from like a conspiracy retard standpoint, like what's kind of going on. You know, the 30,000-foot view anyway. But I don't really understand most of it. I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing, Apex, is you're not alone. I'm not alone. I mean, I think we don't understand what's going on.
I think that's the point. That's the point, though, man.
Yeah, that's the point. We don't know what's going on, and I would say that like the four of us are generally better informed than your average, you know, normie that just
Well, either that or I run into a lot of like far gone like I live, as you know, you in the audience that listen and know, I live in the middle of nowhere, sort of, you know, small town in northern Indiana.
Sure.
A lot of rich farmers and their kids, kind of douchebags, whatever. But I consistently meet like the Alex Jones level, like, bro, I'm gonna bring you some material. I'm like, I've heard of the Great Reset, dude. It's fine. I don't need it. I don't need it. You know. And they're like, no, do you know about Soros? What do you know about Soros? I'm like, God, I know who George Soros is. I'm aware.
What about Klaus Schwab and the WEF?
Yeah, and it's like if I blink the wrong way, then I'm fucked. Then they're gonna be talking to me for the next 2 fucking hours.
Yeah,
Like, I'm at work, dude. You can't follow me around.
yeah. It's like you start down that whole 6 hours later. Oh, let me tell you another thing.
Yeah,
It's
you're
all
like,
about
well,
the
and I mean,
Illuminati.
look,
too late.
I mean, I'm surrounded still by Trump 2020 flags and Let's Go Brandon flags. Unironic. We're
The
talking
cues of
unironic.
the underground pedophile rings and shit like that. Like,
I've got people who
it's cringes. They're again, it's weaponized. These people are not stupid, but their emotions have been played, and they've been played their whole lives. And someone like Trump came in and just, the bull in the china shop kind of thing. We're all aware of his pros and his cons, but these people, goddamn, we're kind of fucked. But I don't see a solution. But I know the people like us exist, right? We're here.
Mm-hmm.
There's more. There's certainly more.
There's more of us than you think, Avex.
And most of them just don't talk. Most of them have no, they're more concerned about paying their bills and, rolling with whatever punches come their way and not bitching about it here on the internet. They,
or they
eventually
just all been banned off the internet too.
I think there's a lot of.
I don't think so.
I think there's a lot of.
There is.
Never logged into YouTube once. They never left a comment anywhere, but they probably look at Patriots. They probably look at Gateway Pundit. They look at YouTube.
Yeah.
They look at
100%. Because I actually did that for years.
Yeah, same. I didn't ever log in, and then I had that urge that a lot of people do, like to leave a comment. It's like you have to sign in. Okay, this is my leap.
Yeah, the main reason I started an account was to subscribe to channels that were, because that was a long ass time ago, and I actually wanted to upload like guitar stuff, but it was way before I had the technology to do so. But yeah, same thing. Excuse me. Matt Jarbo was one of the first YouTube channels that I ever subscribed to, actually.
Yeah, back when he wasn't a soy boy.
Well, when he didn't show his face. And I told him
one day Matt the Skull guy. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, and he just was YouTube News, and he was relatively unbiased. It just kind of bringing.
Oh yeah, he was in my rotation, Total Biscuit, Medicare, like all the.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the first retro right there, Gamergate, man.
I was. I'm ashamed to say that Philip DeFranco early on was in my,
Well, he was fun to watch too, and apparently,
even his subsidiaries. He had some. I can't remember what the fuck they were called. But he had like a rotation of young teenagers that would do news, and they were fun. Like they would like kind of light skit type short news videos where they would like. I can't even describe. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, here's something funny real quick about Philip DeFranco. David Pakman somehow got Philip DeFranco to call into his show. And then Philip DeFranco said like two things, and then like the audio cut out, and he never joined back on the call. And so David Pakman just left hanging there. It's crazy.
I saw a tweet from David Pakman that, he was calling out Tulsi Gabbard because her logo is like his logo.
Well,
for the podcast.
David Pakman is now one of these people who's like, Tulsi has gone MAGA. He's like one of these idiots who's like, she's not on the left, so she's a Trump supporter now, and
Well, I also saw a lot of like celebration, like, oh, so Hillary was right this whole time about everything. Tulsi being a Russian agent and shit like that.
Yeah, like apparently being anti-war means you're pro-Russia. Like,
well, David Pakman's the type of guy to show like a clip from a Trump rally. He's like, "Here's Donald Trump pronouncing this word this way," and it's like,
holy shit!
You try standing up in front of. Oh, you can't. You can't get thousands and tens of thousands of people to stand in front of. You know.
Sam.
Yep.
Yes.
Did we talk about Kanye West yet?
I want to.
No,
Ooh.
not yet. But I want to send you something, Apex, because this is I found the perfect news story, quote unquote, for us to read.
Oh, you want me to read it?
Let's see here. Or I can read it.
I would be happy to read it, my friend.
We could do
Where are
popcorn.
you, what are you sending it to me on?
Let me.
You guys remember popcorn
Alright.
reading in school?
Oh. Yeah,
Remember-
that's gay.
I'm not from. Did you say popcorn? Popcorn reading?
Popcorn reading is where like the teacher like calls on a kid to start reading, but like at any point they can stop reading and call another kid's name, and they have to, so you kind of fuck with your friends and shit.
Oh.
Like it's the best of times, it was the worst of David.
Sam, where are you sending me this? Where are you sending me this? Twitter?
It's gonna take him 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Hold
in
on.
your Twitter.
Okay.
Just send it.
Ba-ba-da-bum, ba-ba-dum.
The headline makes me laugh alone.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, it's an okay.
It's the Onion, but
So the headline reads: Kanye West seeks reconciliation with Jewish cabal to collab on Yeezy X Jews streetwear. Okay. Los Angeles. Should I pull?
Yeah, pull it up.
Pull it up.
You're gonna get some Star of David attire, boys.
Oy vey.
Oy vey.
Or oy yay.
Los Angeles, apologizing for the anti-Semitic comments in his recent shocking Twitter rants. Rapper and fashion designer Kanye West reportedly sought reconciliation with the worldwide Jewish cabal Thursday in order to collaborate on his new idea for Yeezy X Jews streetwear brand. I can't do any more of that.
That was great.
That was pretty good.
Do we actually have to read this, Sammy? Because this is a fake. This is a fake article. I mean, I guess I could continue doing it.
We don't have to read the whole. We don't have to read the whole thing.
Hold on.
I just.
Woody Allen voice.
I am truly sorry for what I. Hold on. This is a quote from Kanye. So, y'all, I'm truly sorry for what I said about Jewish people. I actually think that they was combine my powers as an aesthetic visionary, you know, with your powers as a puppet master of the global economy. This fashion line, oh shit, I hit buttons. Could be a hit. Where did I go? Said West, noting that much of his violent, inflammatory rhetoric was the result of mental health issues, and that he could have that he achieved the clarity needed to see how he was working with the international conspiracy of blood-sucking Jews would be beneficial. My lord. Oy vey. I hope the secret.
Oh my God! I found a quarter. I found a quarter on the.
I found a quarter on the ground. Sorry. Excuse me. Quote from Kanye. I think the secret evil Jewish syndicate can forgive me because I have already drawn up concepts for rebranded Yarmulke called Yemulk.
Oh my God! Are you gonna charge me for the condiment?
Thanks to the Jewish people, control over the markets in every aspect of society, we could have a Yeezy talent in every home. Please, let me stop by your underground mountain lair with some of these fake-ass children you placed in my house so I could apologize in person at Shabbat dinner. Then I can also show y'all how dope I'd be looking in my Yeezy off-white Stramil. At press time... At press time, sources reported West was inquiring if it was the Jewish cabal could point it to space laser at Pete Davidson's house. The end.
Yeah. I just thought that would be a good little palate cleanser there.
You were
So,
right. That was fun.
Fantastic.
I don't really do a New York, a Jewish voice like ever, but I've always imagined doing one.
I
So,
it's been years since
oh my lord,
years since I've read The Onion, but but that was actually pretty funny. I will admit. So also
I hope the audience like that.
Okie has reported the stream to the ADL. So
Good.
so yes, but yeah. Kanye, woo! What do you boys think about?
Kanye's my guy, dude. I don't even listen to his music or nothing. He's just my guy.
No, I mean, I think he's an insane fucking narcissist, and the fact that he's ripping on Jews is funny, but the response to his ripping on Jews is the part that's interesting to me because, yeah, I mean, Kanye is a piece of shit. He's a fucking idiot, and he's
mentally ill.
Not a chill person. From everything I've seen of him over the years, so I don't give a fuck about that guy. But again, it's just the response to, his insanity, I suppose. Because then J.P. Morgan dropped him from their fucking bank, and then stories came out like a day and a half later that it wasn't because of the anti-Semitic remarks. You see, it was because something else. We don't want his millions and millions of dollars in our bank because of other reasons.
Mhm.
Now I'm
Suppose-
going with retarded.
Supposedly that was like that happened a month ago, and that was what, and some are speculating that's what triggered his Jew-
Okay,
his,
that would make
his
sense.
rant, maybe.
That would make
Yeah.
sense. Mm.
But yeah,
I mean, when
no,
did he go on? He went on Tucker and said some anti-Jew shit too, or anti-Israel. I don't know how long ago that was.
Well, I mean, Ash and I watched his last interview when he was on Tucker, and I don't remember.
There was like
him
some
saying-
leaked footage afterwards or something. I don't know how you leak footage, but
No, I thought that was whatever. It doesn't matter. There was like I thought TMZ had an interview with him and they leaked, or whatever. I don't know.
it was like cut footage of the Tucker interview, but somehow people got their hands on it. And TYT was covering it, and like they were covering how Candace Owens, like he did a tweet, I guess, after that was like, "Oh, it's time to go DEF CON on some Jews," and then
Yeah, no, he said Death Con.
Yeah, Death
I'm
Con.
gonna go Death Con 3 on
Candace's
the Jewish
argument-
community.
yeah, Candace's
I
argument.
don't know. I don't know what DEFCON is, but it sounds awful.
No, Candace was like, yeah, DEF CON, is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, incredible stuff, folks.
And then you had like that comedian Michael Rappaport or whatever, the guy who was on Justified, who was like,
Yeah, he called him Dusty.
who was like, "Oh yeah, Kanye, well you want to go DEF CON 3? Well, I'm Jewish. We'll go to DEF CON. We're Jewish. We know some of that DEF CONs or something."
Yeah, he's like, we know what that means. We know what that means. We Jews know that.
DEFCON. I think that means like a non-kosher diet, which is really bad for my bowels.
Yeah, it's short for constipation.
Damn, Phil, you do a really good fat Jew.
Oh my
good.
god, it's so
Oh my
it's so
God.
expensive.
Oh my god.
Well,
99 cents for a cheeseburger from McDonald's. Jesus, what's this world coming to?
For a cheeseburger.
Dude, we're so gonna get in
for a
trouble for this
cheeseburger?
shit.
That's insane. That's crazy. Never. Excuse me. Because Jewish people have bad allergies. Excuse me.
My nose is so bad.
Can you take the cat out of this house? It's giving me really bad allergies.
I'm getting really nauseous. I'm so
What?
nauseous.
What's
Damn,
what's
this is
the
fun.
deal with Kanye West?
He's a mentally unstable person, and everybody's either praising him or they're giving him shit. I'm like, dude, this dude's mentally ill. Like, nobody should be praising or fucking like
Yeah, just let the fucking
ratting
dude
him
make
in. Just
music.
let him make his comments and let him make his shit. Like, nobody can, like, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Like,
No, I think a lot of normies like Kanye, and it's good for them to hear some shit, even if it's crazy.
people like like putting his crazy shit on blast because it sells. Like, it gets viewership. Like when Kanye says something off the wall, people are like, oh my god, did you see what Kanye said?
Yeah,
Didn't he get banned from something and then he went to Twitter?
Yeah, Facebook, I think, banned him.
Oh, he
Yeah.
wasn't on Twitter. He was only on Facebook, and then
he was. Yeah, he was on Twitter, because I remember seeing him years ago. But I don't know if he got banned or if he just quit Twitter or what. But he like came back and posted a picture of him with Mark Zuckerberg. He's like, "What the fuck, Zuck? I thought we was boys."
And Elon was like, "Welcome back."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So anyway,
I don't know, like Joe Rogan, Kanye West, Elon Musk, like all these people are things that normies talk about, and so when they're saying like even the closest base thing, I think it's a good thing.
yeah, but it's so fucked that's what people are talking about, man. You know.
I mean, they'd be talking about what's his face, Logan Paul or whatever.
Or like one of their chickens is sick, and they're talking about that and what they do to fix it, because that's their son or their kid, whatever. I got a fucking hole in my roof. That's what you should you should be talking to people about, community shit.
Did you see the Kanye thing? Did you hear about Toros?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Precisely.
I mean, yeah. So social media used to be like a fun place just to like post photos and
Even
and
as
whatnot.
even as recently as 5 years ago, when I first fucking hopped on Twitter, that was on more the Facebook or not
Yeah.
Facebook, the YouTube part, because I got away with a lot on YouTube for a long time, and then all it took was posting 2 Trump rally videos, like 2 minutes long, and then like a 45-second clip to get a 1, 2, 3 strike, all at the same time and in the middle of the night.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
whatever. I do have just to switch gears. Just because it's on my mind right now. It's not
Sure.
Sunday, but I'm actually for the first time, and I can't even tell you how long, excited for Sunday because I am a big fan of House of the Dragon. Have any of you guys watched that yet?
Sean's been watching it.
No,
it's
no.
very
Well,
good.
I did watch the first 2 episodes and I did like them. So.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, it's jarring. It's one of the, and I hate saying this, but it's one of those, like they've all been good first watch, but they do a bunch of time jumps. Like they do.
Yeah.
At 2 different points, I think 2 consecutive episodes, they jump, 6 and then 10 years, or 10 and then 6 years or something. So they change the main actresses. A bunch of people stay the same, but like children actors change, and then the 2, like the Queen and the fucking Rhaenyra and Alicent change into adult characters, and then after that, their kids, who have been the same for the last few, change into different actors. So it's fucking jarring.
Yeah. So
it's one.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it's one
so
of
they're
those
doing
you
the
have to
same
watch.
stuff they do.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so they're doing the same stuff that they're doing on Yellowstone then as well, where they're doing.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I've not watched Yellowstone, but it's jarring as fuck. And I didn't really
Yeah.
care for it. I've watched the last couple episodes fresh without rewatching any, and I've been like, what the fuck is going on? And I kind of get the overall point, and I'm like, damn, this is good. Even though I've been confused as to who's who. I get the general point, but I actually went back and I've watched the last, because they're on tomorrow will be episode 9, but I've watched them over the last couple of days, and man, it's one of those that you actually have to watch more than once because it is kind of confusing with the character swaps and shit, but it's good. If you were even a remote fan of Game of Thrones, the show, or if you're a fan of the books, which I've never read any of them, but I liked the show for a bit. I got bored of it about halfway through, but still, like I could see the scope. It intrigued me just like everybody else, and I think if it interests you, it's definitely worth checking out. It's very very good.
I've been rewatching Breaking Bad over the past few months, right after Better Call Saul ended, and wow, I mean it's pretty jarring to think that like 2008 wasn't all that long ago, and yet like the world has changed exponentially.
2008 was a long time ago, Sam.
Well, yeah, 15 years ago. I mean, that's a long time ago now, but it doesn't seem like all that long ago to me.
No, of course.
Is what I'm saying.
Because now it's a remake and shit, a new thing.
It happens the older you get, man.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah, people still had flip phones back then, so.
Damn, what's up with this camera
and
scale?
And gun turrets, apparently.
But House of the Dragon. What I find really interesting, especially about it, is I think it's George R. R. Martin's most recent book, and it's written from like the perspective. It's like some maester, some guy wrote down some history that he pieced together from some other shit. So, like the book itself has got alleged facts, but this TV show in conjunction with George R. R. Martin is, filling in these gaps in ways that aren't there in the books in some ways. And you know how it ends. If you know that House Targaryen dies, everybody that you're falling in love with in this show, or you're watching and finding some sort of relationship to, or to care about, or to hate, or whatever, they're all going to die. Which is, I don't know. It's an interesting approach of a show. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen anything like. I don't think I've ever watched anything quite like it, where you basically know how it all ends. You just you get to see the intricacies of how it ends. Which is it's interesting. It's very well done.
Yeah, that's what the Star Wars prequels were supposed to be like.
Sure.
I say supposed to be because they kind of weren't, but
and now that was a long time ago.
But yeah.
Man, yeah, that's the best part of fucking. It's the best part of the prequel trilogy. The fucking. Yeah, what is that? Duel of the Fates?
Yeah.
Duel of the Fates. Also, Apex. I thought it was this week, but it wasn't. But next weekend, do you know what next weekend is?
I don't.
The 1 year anniversary of when we had Alan Powell on.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
To talk about a certain FOIA request.
Oh yeah,
and
that was fun. Oh yeah, and then subsequent Mersh videos. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I was nice to you.
Yeah, he dedicated like an hour to watch like 5 minutes of our stream, and he threatened me with slightly threatened me.
Oh yeah.
When I'm like, doxing's not illegal, you fucking retard. I mean, it may be immoral, but it's not against the fucking law, you idiot. And he's like, oh yeah, Apex. Oh yeah, we'll fucking see about that. Apex Gamma.
Yeah, I think
Idiot.
Sam and my first conversation was about Merce, and I just couldn't believe this guy was real.
No,
Yeah.
no one can. Well,
Suck my
well,
dick
yeah, you
and
just.
fuck my ass. Okay.
Hello, Stabby. How are you
Yeah.
doing?
That was a Nick Mullen original, I think.
Yeah.
Suck my dick and fuck my ass. I'm gay. Ba, 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 ba.
What what are the Comtown boys up to?
Oh, that's another
I know
thing.
Stabby made
The,
it big.
no, Stav quit the show, and now
I knew that.
they are doing the Adam Friedland show, and they have been literally building a studio. They bought a space. They've got a set. They've been like progressively. You can see video footage, and some. It's very funny. It seems very funny because Adam was the bitch of the show for like 6 years. Like he was
Oh yeah.
he was the butt of the joke, especially for the fans. And then Stavi fucking jumps out, and Nick's like, "All right, this is now the Adam Friedland show." He's sticking Adam in the spotlight. Nick's taking a quote unquote producer place, but they're making they're according to their words, they're doing a talk show. They're just going to have guests on. They're going to do a talk show. Adam's going to be the host. Nick's going to be off camera, maybe do some quips. I have no idea, but so far it's really funny. What they've done without Stav. They've put way more work
Yeah.
into it than ever before. But yeah, that's what the Cum Boys are up to.
No. What's hilarious about that whole thing is it's just three guys. Is that original podcast was just three guys talking, and yet they made like a shit ton of money on Patreon.
Yeah, I mean
Like
they still make a shit ton of money. They're still one of the top
Yeah.
Patreon. They might be the first, second, or third, somewhere up there. But
Yeah,
the thing is they weren't just talking; they were riffing. Like the whole point was to riff and be
Yeah.
like forget the mics were there. Like that's why it was popular. It's called, I've heard people call it a friendship simulator, because if you've ever had real friends, you've had conversations like these fucking retards have
Yeah.
twice a week, you know?
Oh yeah.
Or they're like, bro, what if fucking I don't know, what if Wendy was a real bitch and we could fuck her, man? Like what? You know, like just those stupid stoner, and then you just go off of that and run for as long as until it becomes absurd or beyond anybody's ability to riff with it, and then you just, all right, well, what the fuck else are we gonna talk, you know? So yeah, it was clear they fucking hated it too. They all hated it, which is why that's the other thing that made it funny. They hated doing it, but they made pretty quickly, like within the first 6 months, I think they were making like 20 grand a month or 15 grand a month.
Why did they hate it?
Just because it's not, they're comedians. They've done stand-up comedy and shit for their whole life, and they looked at it as like a bastardization of their profession. Like it's not real comedy. It's just sitting here with your friends with microphones, eating chips into the mic, and fucking stuff. Always, it was bastardization. I guess they're some sort of purists. But
Have they changed their
Yeah.
opinion about it?
well, Stav obviously hasn't, because he's gone on to do his own thing.
Oh.
And now Nick and Adam, I think they realize Nick is one of the funniest people I've ever seen, I have ever heard. And it's a painful kind of humor, but that's the best kind. I feel bad for Nick, but he's fucking hilarious, man. He's good at impressions and his riff ability. He's been doing stand-up comedy again too. I've seen some of that on YouTube, and he's still got it, man.
There you go.
He's got a bit where he talks about Alex Jones being on Mount Rushmore in the future, and why that's important.
Oh yeah.
And PT does that bit in Portland, like the most liberal of cities. But anyway, what were you gonna say, Sam?
I was also gonna say Medicare is back doing like a weekly show now.
Oh,
I heard.
It's amazing, Apex. It's just
Yeah.
it's just racial slurs every 2 seconds. It's very refreshing.
Nice.
He's trying to find the word that Odyssey won't let him say, and he hasn't found it yet.
Yeah, no,
That's awesome.
yeah, no. Odyssey's been
Odyssey's
great for,
awesome.
like,
They've
some-
been Odyssey's
Yeah.
been awesome from the jump. They've taken some time to get everything worked out, but yeah, I hope Odyssey's the future.
I don't know. I think Rumble's
Yeah,
got a
we're-
beat, and you can tell by like just a Salty Cracker stream will get like even more. I think it's the only website that I think gets more viewers on a Salty Cracker stream than YouTube does. At the same time, it's live on YouTube, and you go to Odyssey, and it's got literally like 1/10 of the people.
Yeah, well, I mean, what Odyssey's doing with their payment processing and shit, like Rumble's been around longer, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. And you know they've got who knows what kind of pockets they have, or what's really running that show over there. But yeah, I like Odyssey, and I would like the future of Sam's show to end up on Odyssey because fuck YouTube. And if he can do both, but get people over to Odyssey to, if they're gonna donate there, because he gets to keep what 95% or 98% or something or 100%. I don't even know.
Yeah, well, we're over on Odyssey right now. So
I know, but I'm saying we should be pushing viewers over there. We should be doing custom. We should be doing custom Odyssey stuff. Actually.
Ooh, Odyssey. Clip.
You know what? Clip my reading. Hold on, time out. Clip my reading of that article earlier, and then post it on Twitter and be like, Apex is most. I don't know. Like, you don't even have to put my name in it. Just be like,
his most Jewish rant ever.
The most Jewish rant ever. You know.
He keeps sneezing because just things get stuck in my nose. He can't help it.
And then make it an Odyssey exclusive, and then ask people to subscribe to the Odyssey channel, et cetera, et cetera. You know, that's how this how marketing works, man.
Yep. I definitely.
Or better yet, we'll do some exclusive content for the channel that we haven't done on YouTube. I mean, because that's actually kind of dumb to clip a YouTube stream and put it exclusive on Odyssey. That would not work.
Well, one thing that I'm told that you can do on Odyssey that I would love to do is like riff tracks on like really stupid movies. That's a concept that's been around for a while, but because of YouTube being the way it is, no one can do it anymore. So,
oh, you mean watch a movie and talk shit over it?
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, basically.
Like a shitty movie.
basically that.
Yeah.
So.
Hell yeah! All right, let's. Yeah.
And with Halloween right around the corner, there are lots of shitty, B horror movies or whatever.
Yeah, literally any Children of the Corn movie.
But yeah,
ladies and gentlemen,
if there's nothing else, gentlemen, we can wrap this biatch up. So.
I love you, boys. I hope you have a good Sunday and the rest of your week. Hope to talk to you both soon.
Yeah, good to see you, Apex.
I hope.
Good night, chat.
I hope you do too. I hope Akaba gets over the swine flu. So.
Thank you for listeling.
I was
just gonna get a little Sam. Go to Sam Whitfield's Odyssey channel, whatever the fuck that is, and his Twitter and his Patreon /Sam
Whitfield Report on Odyssey.
There you go. Thank you for listening to the Whitfield Report. Have a good night. I don't know, man.
God, freedom, legacy in that order.
Yeah, God, freedom, legacy in that order.
All right. Ahuru, nigger nerds rise up.
Thanks for listening to The Whitfield Report on the NGC Network. Please visit Sam's website at www.thesamwhitfield.com. and support Sam on Patreon at patreon.com/Whitfield Report. Until next time, God bless, God save this great nation, and God, freedom, legacy, in that order.
WWW. WWW.